Good morning. Welcome to another Feel Good Monday morning flow. I'm going to give it just a couple minutes if you're joining for the live class. And if you are joining in later, feel free to skip the first couple minutes. I'm just going to hang out here, my favorite part of the class. I always get very nervous before I hit that live button. Let me know if you get nervous too, if you do any lives. The heart starts beating a little quicker. But once you start doing it, once you start talking and staring at yourself in your screen, it gets a little better sometimes. Anyway, so if you're joining live, feel free to just get yourself set up and settled with whatever you need. As usual, I put a playlist, I shared a playlist in my stories if you want to get that set up, ready to go. If you normally practice with any props, you might want to go ahead and grab a prop or two. And what else? Morning, Sarah. Hello, Rebecca. How's it going? And today's class is, like I said, a feel-good flow, but I decided for the month of January to do a little bit of a series, a little bit of consistency. Oh, it's nice to hear from you. I was gonna type a comment and then realized I could just speak to you. So yeah, we're gonna be doing throughout the month of January in our Instagram Feel Good Flows, they will all be exploring some variation of bow pose. Bow pose has so many different variations. You could do it on the floor, you could do it standing, and we're just gonna play around with that. So expect a nice uplifting back bendy class, and today's variation, today's exploration of bow pose is going to be half bow. We're gonna kind of ease into it with a bit of a half version, and then we'll do some different ones as the weeks go on. So, okay, it's 9. We've got some people joining. How wonderful. And like I said at the beginning, if you normally practice with any props, go ahead and grab a block, grab a blanket for after class. And if you want to practice with music, then you can put on the playlist that I shared in my stories, or you can put on any other music that you like. And I think we will get started. I will turn these comments off because they're super distracting when I'm teaching, and then you can actually see me. Okay, so go ahead and hit play on your playlist, and we will make our way into a child's pose towards the back of the mat to start. I will put my music on and see you there. So taking your knees as wide as you'd like, bringing your big toes to touch, and then go ahead and walk your hands out into your child's pose. Take a moment to just let the arms be heavy, to let the hips settle back towards the heels, maybe feeling a little bit tight this morning. I know after a bit of a long weekend or a few long weekends, there's a bit of extra lazing around and extra sleeping in that the body can get a little bit tight. And that's okay, that's completely normal. And just taking a few moments to scan your body, to check in, and to settle in. Settling into your breath, onto your mat. And start to notice how your breath can set the tone for your practice. And then maybe you can start to notice how this practice can set the tone for the rest of your day. Starting your day with movement, with mindfulness. And then maybe you can notice how this day can set the tone for the entire week. You can stay in this relaxed, passive child's pose Or if you'd like to start waking up the body a little bit, you can bring the palms together. So hands are in prayer. Gently press the palms together and start to bend the elbows, hands lifting off the mat. Hands can be anywhere up in the air, or you can rest the hands all the way behind the head. So the goal of this is to feel a little bit more stretching and sensation down the backs of the arms and through the chest. If you're not feeling any more sensation and you'd like a little more, you can walk the elbows a little bit further away from the body and gently press the palms together. Think about reaching your heart towards the floor. As you take a few more deep breaths in whatever variation you're in. And if the hands are lifted off the mat, go ahead and gently extend the arms, plant the hands down, and rise up into a tabletop position, sliding hands under shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We'll move through some cat-cow. So taking a nice deep inhale through the nose, start to lift your chest, lift your tailbone. And as you exhale through the nose, around your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Again, just moving nice and slow through your back bend, your cow shape, drop the belly, and rounding through the spine into your cat shape, spreading the shoulder blades. Take a couple more just with your own breath, moving as fast or as slow as you're feeling. Whenever you're doing this practice, again, if it's live, then you might be moving slow because it's morning. Or if it's later in the day, you might feel a little more energized and move a little quicker. All right, take one more round, inhaling to your cow. Exhaling to your cat. This time tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, downward dog, and just pedal it out. First downward dog of the practice. Just take it for a nice little walk, moving in any way that feels right for you right now. And again, maybe checking in with how the breath is and how the breath can set the tone for your practice. How do you want to feel? And how can you cultivate that feeling in your breath? How can you cultivate that feeling in your movement? Let's come to a bit of stillness in downward facing dog. Spread the fingers nice and wide, get a good strong grip on the mat. Feel the spine lengthen as the hips reach high. And as you inhale, lift the heels, shift forward into a plank. Dig into the mat with the fingertips. As you exhale, hips lead the way, backing up into your downward facing dog. A couple more. Just inhale, shift forward, heels lift super high, come up onto the tippy toes, find plank. As you exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let's do one more like that. Inhale forward, feel the core start to get stronger, the legs engage. As you exhale, hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. All right, this time come forward, plank. You might need to widen the base of the plank. Drop the knees down. Lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Legs stay super strong. Feet press down. Cobra. Exhale, gently lower. Couple more. Inhale, lift the chest. Shoulders down, elbows in. Exhale, lower. Warming up our spine for our back bendy class. Just with some nice gentle cobras to start. This time, let's lift up and hold. Can you feel the kneecaps lift, the thighs squeeze, the feet press down? Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, just turn your head to the right. Get a little stretch in the neck. Come back to center. Other side, head to the left. Back to center. Lower all the way back down. And then press back to seated on heels at the back of the mat. So you're in a kneeling position. Knees can be as wide as you'd like. If you want them together, then go ahead and bring them together. Let's inhale the arms overhead, bring your palms to touch. And as you exhale, drop the right hand down, reach your left arm over. So a little side bend on the left. You can take your fingertips or your palm down onto the floor. If the floor feels far away, go ahead and grab your prop to bring it a little closer. Next inhale, rise up through center, arms overhead. Exhale, other side. So the left hand, fingertips or palm plant down as the right arm reaches up and over. Keep your hips reaching back towards your heels or down towards your heels, softening a little bit through the shoulders and the elbows. Next inhale, rise up, arms overhead. And as you exhale, let's bring the hands behind, bring them to the base of the spine. So it's like they're in your back pockets. And just start to gently lift the chest. Little seated, supported back bend. Again, gazing wherever feels right for you. If you're dropping the head back and you're feeling pinching in the neck, can you find that place where you're feeling long through the back of the neck? As you inhale, let's reach arms all the way overhead. And exhale, bring the hands down. We'll come into tabletop position. So back into all fours. Find a nice neutral spine in this tabletop. So you're feeling the belly button lift towards the spine, the center of your chest reach forward. Now let's kick the right leg back. So right leg is long. Let's flex the foot, so reach through the heel. Spread the fingers wide on the right hand. Feel steady and strong. And then let's slowly come up onto the left fingertips. And then reach the left arm forward. You probably want to focus one point for your balance, probably somewhere to the top of the mat. Let's take an inhale, begin to bend the right knee, kick your right heel high, reach your left arm just a little bit higher, back bend. And as you exhale, begin to bring elbow and knee maybe to touch. Inhale to reach and to kick, feeling the muscles along the spine engage. As you exhale, draw in, feel the muscles in the front body engage. One more time like that, kick, feel the back bend, lift the chest. And as you exhale, draw it in, elbow and knee, maybe they meet. This time reach and kick. And either hold here or reach the left arm around behind for the right foot. See if you can grab it. And then press your foot into your hand. If you can't grab it this morning, that's totally fine. Do what you can, work with what you got. Wherever you are, you're feeling the back bend. Digging the right fingertips into the mat. Next inhale, let's extend left arm, right leg, finding your balance. As you exhale, plant the left hand down, step the right foot up. We're coming into a low lunge. So check to see the feet are about hip width apart. Press into the feet, squeeze the inner thighs, and then reach your arms all the way overhead. Palms touch if you can. Lift the chest here. Gently pressing the palms together, lifting the lower abdominals up and in. So the legs and the core are going to support your back bend throughout your entire class. Feel that support here, strong legs, lifting the low belly. You could stay here or you could bend your elbows and then keeping your hands in prayer, maybe they rest somewhere behind the head. It'll be a different spot for everyone depending on the length of the forearms. Wherever you are, lift the chest. If those elbows are bent, think about drawing the elbows a little closer together. Maybe feeling a bigger stretch through the triceps. Now let's take an inhale, begin to lengthen. We'll straighten out the right leg. Bring the hands all the way down. Maybe your block is close by and you need it for your half splits. Right toes can peel high off the mat as you reach the heart forward and pull the hips back. And begin to bend into the right knee, walk the hands forward. Left toes tuck, lift the left knee, and take a strong kick back and up into your downward facing dog. Well, three-legged downward facing dog. So the right leg is lifted. Go ahead and circle out the ankle if you'd like. Wiggle the toes, point and flex the foot. If you're feeling like bending the right knee and circling the hip around, circling the knee around, go for it. And again, check in with how you can set the tone for this practice, how you want to set the tone for your day, and what movements will set that tone for you. All right, when you're ready, coming back into your downward dog, 2 feet, 2 hands onto the mat. Let's take a big breath in, come forward into plank, shoulders maybe slightly ahead of the wrists. As you exhale, hips lead the way, downward facing dog. Couple more, big breath in, lift the heels, shift forward, lift the core. As you exhale, pull the hips back, downward dog. All right, this time we come forward to plank again. You might need to adjust your stance, that's okay. From knees or toes, lower all the way down to the mat. Tops of your feet press down, feel the thighs lift, thighs squeeze. Lift the chest as you inhale. Lower as you exhale. Couple more, again, gentle, little flowing cobras. You want to feel the back body lift the front body. The legs, the core supporting the spine. This time again, lift up and hold. Keep the shoulders down, elbows in. Take an inhale. As you exhale, again, head turns to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Back to center. Lower down. And press back again to seated on heels. Kneeling at the back of the mat. Again, the knees can be together or apart. We'll take the arms all the way overhead and then drop the right hand down again, side body stretch. Hand can come down to the floor or your block. Left arm reaches up and over. This time maybe you roll the left shoulder back and open the chest a little more. Feeling that nice stretch from fingers down to your left hip. Next time you inhale, bring the arms overhead. Other side, take it over to the left. Right arm reaches high, up and over. Can you press your left hand into the floor and see how that reaches or roots the right hip a little closer to the heel? Again, opening the chest, rolling right shoulder back. Next, inhale, back up through center, arms overhead. This time, bring the hands all the way back to the base of the spine again. You could stay here, lift the chest, or you could rise up onto the knees, so hips are right above the knees. Lifting the chest here is supported camel. Again, you're always drawing the elbows in, shoulders down as you lift the heart high. Being mindful of the neck. If it feels okay, you can drop the head back, but wherever you are, you still breathe. Next inhale, come all the way up. And then let's bring the hands back down into our tabletop position. Moving through our flow on the other side, so the fingers spread wide. Spine is neutral and long, low belly lifting. And we'll kick the left leg back this time, pressing through the left heel, foot is flexed. Get steady and strong in the left hand and begin to come up onto the right fingertips. Reach the right arm long, find that one point to focus. As you inhale, we'll bend the left knee, reach your right arm just maybe a little bit higher. As you exhale, bring the elbow and the knee maybe to touch. Inhale again to your back bend, kick and reach. Exhale, pull it on in. One more time. Inhale, reach and kick. Exhale, squeeze it in, belly button to spine. Inhale, reach and kick and hold. Okay, find your balance here. Steady in that foundation. You could stay here or you could reach your right arm around, see if you can grab your left foot. It's a whole lot easier for me unless you're in front of a mirror. I can see where my foot is. If you can't grab it, that's okay. If you're feeling close, I promise you your foot is there. Lift the chest. Be mindful of that bottom left shoulder. Pull it back in towards the socket. Next inhale, let's extend arm and leg long. As you exhale, right hand plants, left foot steps up. Back into your low lunge. Again, set up feet hip width apart. Bend into the left knee. Root into the feet, squeeze inner thighs. Rise up, arms overhead. Palms touch. Lift the chest. Again, if this is enough of a back bend for you, stay right here. Gently tugging the hips forward and down and lifting the core. Maybe you bend the elbows, pressing the palms even closer together. Resting the head somewhere on the hands or the forearms. Lifting the chest high. Keep drawing the elbows in. Again, staying with it, with your balance, with your breath, and how you want to feel. As you inhale, reach the arms overhead, start to straighten the left leg, and hands come down into your half splits. Again, use whatever prop you might need, and you might need to scooch that left leg a little bit more forward to get the full stretch, to get the length down the left leg. Flexing the left foot, back of the neck long. Begin to crawl forward, bending into your left knee, right toes tuck, lift the right knee, and then it's a strong kick back and up into your three-legged dog. One more time, you might want to roll out the left ankle, wiggle the toes, point and flex the foot, or maybe bend the left knee and circle it around. Again, warming up the hip, getting some movement into the joints. Back bends and hips, that's what really feels good in the morning. All right, let's bring the left foot back down if it's not already there in your downward facing dog. Big breath in, come forward to your plank and hold your plank here. Super strong, you can be on the toes or you can drop the knees down. It's totally up to you. Spreading the shoulder blades, legs are engaged. Okay, and then from this plank, start to lower your right forearm down onto the mat. Elbow under shoulder. Other side, we'll bring the left forearm down. So you're in a forearm plank. Breathing, pushing the floor away with the forearms. And then if the knees aren't already on the mat, bend the knees, lower them down. Lower your hips, but keep the chest lifted. So you're coming into a Sphinx pose. Uncurl the toes, tops of your feet pressed down. actively pressing the floor away, lifting your chest. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, start to round the spine, lifting belly button to spine. Press your knees down, thighs might lift. As you inhale again, come back to your Sphinx, lower the hips, lift the chest, bend the right knee, reach your toes towards your head. As you exhale, come back to that rounded shape. So right foot down, lift the low belly, thighs might lift. Other side, we'll inhale to lower the hips, lift the chest, bend the left knee, reach your toes towards your head. And then exhale to lower the foot down, round one more time. Stay in this rounded shape here. In your forearm plank, pushing the floor away. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. From this position, we're coming back to our normal plank. So bring the right forearm or right hand back down. Then the left hand under the left shoulder. And let's take an inhale, hover the right toes. As you exhale, pull the right knee in and step it through. Coming back into a lunge, so you can choose high or low. If it's high, the back toes are tucked, left thigh pressing towards the sky. Reach the arms overhead, palms touch, lift the chest. Big bend in the right knee again, using the legs, using the core for support, so keep lifting the belly button towards the spine. Again, you can stay here or you can bend the elbows, rest the hands behind the head. Lift your chest high, squeeze the elbows in. Again, feeling the stretch through the triceps, maybe through the shoulders, underneath the arms. Take a big breath and begin to straighten the right leg. Arms reach out wide. As you breathe out, keep your balance as you spill over the front thigh. Leading with the heart. Bring hands all the way down and fold here. In your pyramid pose. Back heel can be as high as you need it to be. Head is heavy. And then start to walk your hands to the inside of the right foot so that you pivot all the way, face the long edge of the mat. So you're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Toes turn in a little, heels in one line. Hands underneath of the shoulders, so spine is long. I want you to really press into the outer edges of the feet. Keep the left hand planted. Take an inhale, reach the right arm up, twist. Exhale, plant it down. Other side, reach the left arm up, twist, and hold this twist. Rolling the left shoulder back, keeping the spine super long. Now let's flip the left palm so it turns to face behind you. Bend your left elbow. Either bring your hand to the base of your spine or wrap it around for your right hip for a half bind. Try to keep this half bind if you can. Start to pivot your right toes. They point to the top of the mat. Bend into your right knee. We're coming into side angle with this half bind. If it's too much, you can bring left hand to the base of the spine or reach up. So the left leg stays long, foot is planted. Right fingertips could be on the floor or forearm to thigh. Lengthening through both sides of the waist, reaching the center of your chest forward. If you've got a full bind in your practice and you're feeling it this morning, maybe you wrap the right arm under and grab for hands, but don't worry too much if you can get that full bind. Rolling left shoulder back, just feel the length in the spine. Now wherever you are, bring your left hand onto your left hip, right hand to the top right corner of your mat or your block. Shift the weight into the right foot. We come into half moon for a moment or two, or however long you can hold it. Hips stack, shoulders stack. Left leg is long, foot is flexed. Maybe you want to reach the left arm up towards the sky for a moment or two. And then we'll start to come into warrior three. So begin to roll the left hip down, left shoulder rolls down. So the hips and shoulders are square to the floor. Both legs stay so strong. Fingertips can be resting very lightly on the floor or a block. Or if you'd like, if the spine feels good, if the core is working really hard this morning, then bring the hands behind the head. So fingers interlace, elbows flare out wide. Take an inhale here, wherever you are, reach the chest forward. As you exhale, soften into the knees, step your left foot beside your right. Inhale to roll up the spine, elbows open wide when you reach the top, lift the chest. Exhale to roll all the way back down, elbows draw in and forward fold, release the hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway. And exhale to fold, hands come down. Take a big step or a little hop back into plank. From your plank, make your way to the mat. Once you're on your mat, Bring the forearms down, elbows under shoulders. We're gonna try half bow on the first side because you've been doing lots of back bends. You're nice and warmed up. We'll press the forearms down into the mat, lift the chest. That being said, if you're not feeling ready for a half bow this morning, then you can definitely stay in your Sphinx pose. I'll give you some options. So option 1, stay here, lifting the heart high, pressing the feet down, pressing the forearms down. That's your Sphinx pose. Option 2, bend the right knee. So you're bringing your toes towards your head, maybe lifting your chest a little higher, pressing your forearms down still. That's your option 2. Option 3 is to press into the left forearm. If you're feeling a little bit unstable, a little bit wobbly here, you can take your left forearm across and reach your left fingers to your right hand, giving yourself a little more wider base. Maybe you reach your right arm behind and grab a hold of the foot with the hand for your half bow. If you've got a hold of your foot, press it into your hand. Allow the right shoulder to roll back. Keep lifting the chest and keep pushing the floor away from you. That left leg stays strong and engaged. Low belly stays lifting. You're still breathing. Maybe taking 1 breath or 2 here. And then gently release the foot if you've got a hold of it. Let's lower all the way down for a moment. Just rest your head on your hands and give your hips a little sway side to side. And from here, begin to lift your head, hands slide under shoulders, press yourself back through a little child's pose, and then tuck your toes, lift your hips up into your downward facing dog. Okay, we got that sequence one more time on the left hand side. Let's do it together. Again, reminding yourself how you want to feel, how your movement and your breath can support that feeling that you want to carry with you throughout the rest of your day. Take a big breath in, shift forward into plank. Hold your plank. You want to feel strong? Do you want to feel soothed? Do you want to feel happy? Let's lower the left forearm down. Lower the right forearm down. Drop the knees. Lower the hips, lift the chest, Sphinx. Let's take an inhale, lift the chest a little higher. As you exhale, rounded position, pressing knees, or maybe this time tops of your feet down, whole body lifts. That's tough. As you inhale, lift the chest back into your Sphinx. As you exhale, lifting the chest, bending the left knee. And then as you exhale, round the spine, option to press the feet down. I was distracted by how tough this was. Inhale, lift the chest, bending the right knee this time. Awesome. Then we come back to our rounded position, our plank from knees or toes. You can choose. And then we'll take the left hand back under the left shoulder, right hand under the right shoulder. Press yourself back into plank. Inhale, hover the left toes. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through to your lunge, high or low. When you're ready, when you feel strong, stable, reach the arms overhead. Palms touch. Lift the chest high. Get in that high lunge. Can you press your right thigh towards the sky? Engage the back leg. Maybe you bend the elbows, pressing palms together, drawing elbows in, lifting chest, squeezing inner thighs. And then next inhale, straighten the left leg, arms wide. Find your balance, your focus as you tip forward, folding all the way over the front leg. Drop the head for a breath or 2. Again, back heel can be lifted, both legs are straight. And then walk your hands to the inside of the left foot. Turn, face the long edge of the mat. Line up the heels, turn the toes in a little. Squeeze the thighs, walk the hands out under the shoulders. This time we inhale the left arm up for a little twist. Exhale, bring it on down. Other side, inhale the right arm up. Stay in this twist. Again, lengthen through the spine. This time, turn the right palm, face it behind you. Bend the elbow, maybe hand rests on the spine, or wrap around for your left hip. For your half bind, rolling right shoulder back. Now start to pivot, left toes point to the top of the mat, bend into the left knee. Left hand either to the inside of the foot or forearm to thigh for your side angle. Again, remember to lengthen through the spine first and foremost, keep back leg strong. You could stay here or slide the left arm under if you've got a full bind in your practice and you feel up to it this morning. Take a few breaths. Remind yourself how you want to feel. And is this variation, is the variation that you choose supporting that feeling? Slowly unravel if you've got any sort of bind, right hand to right hip, left hand to top left corner. Shift weight into the left foot, lift the right leg, half moon. Find your balance, focus one point, maybe on the floor, maybe to the wall, maybe to the sky. Roll right hip back, right shoulder back. You could reach your right arm up, maybe get light on the left fingertips. And then start to level the hips, level the shoulders, bring right hand down for a moment, set up your warrior three. Give yourself support where you need it, flex the right foot. Keep the core lifted. You could stay here or you could bring your hands behind your head. Fingers interlace, elbows wide. Inhale, reach the chest forward, think cobra. Exhale, step the right foot beside the left. Inhale to roll all the way up. At the top, open the elbows wide, big breath in. Exhale to curl all the way in and fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, we're almost there. Plant the hands, step or hop into plank. And lower with control to the mat. Once you're here, bring the feet down, forearms onto the mat. Elbows under shoulders, set up your sphinx, lift the chest. So we're gonna come into our half bow on the other side. Again, if you'd like to stay in your sphinx, stay here, breathe here. If you wanna soften and relax, you can drop the head, let it hang heavy. If you're feeling like you want to try your half bow on the other side, just start by bending the left knee. See how that feels, reach your toes towards your head, get a little stronger through the spine. Keep the right leg super strong, engaged. Right thigh squeezes. Again, shift the weight into the right forearm. If you'd like, you can take the forearm across over towards your left hand. Pressing it down into the mat, reach your left arm behind you. See if you can find that left foot with your hand. If not, it's totally fine. You can still reach for it and not grab it and still get so many benefits. Pressing right forearm down, lifting chest. If you've got a hold of that foot, press it into your hand and breathe. Notice how you feel and how this movement can support that feeling, how your breath can support it. When you're ready, gently release if you've got your half bow. We lower all the way down. Again, head to the tops of your hands. Give your hips a little sway side to side. Allow the eyes to close, the body to start to soften. And begin to lift the head when you feel ready. Slide your hands under your shoulders. Press back through a child's pose for as long as you need. Hips reach towards the heels. You might stay here for 1 or 2 breaths, or 5 or 10 breaths. If and when you're ready, start to lift the head. We'll take a seated forward fold so the legs swing out in front. You can take the feet as wide as you'd like for a more passive, gentle version. You can bring the feet closer together for a little more sensation. Make sure you're sitting up tall on your sit bones. Arms reach high over the head. Keep the legs relaxed. Feet just flop in and then fold over the legs. You don't have to reach the feet. You might find a block or a pillow to slide underneath of your head or your torso. And give yourself a few big breaths here. And let the head just hang heavy. The shoulders round. The spine round. Feel your breath slow and get a little bit deeper. And then slowly bring the hands beside the legs. Press yourself up. Make your way onto your back. Making sure there's some room behind you. Making sure you have everything you need. Because once you're on your back, you might not want to get up for a while. Once you are on your back, hug your knees in towards your chest. Take a gentle rock side to side, massage at the spine. And then I'll let you choose what feels good. And what you want to do is your final posture or postures. You may want to take a happy baby, taking the knees out wide, grabbing onto the ankles or the feet, drawing your knees towards your armpits. You might let the knees fall one side to the other for a twist. I'll just encourage you right now to close your eyes, to do what feels good, to give yourself these last few moments, to just give yourself what you need. Maybe if you were in a twist, you come to the other side. Again, really truly checking in, asking yourself if what you're doing in this moment is serving you, is encouraging how you want to feel, how you want to set the tone for the rest of your day and for your week ahead. And at your own pace, when it feels right for you, make your way into your final savasana, whatever shape that is. Setting yourself up so nice and comfortable. And then taking as long as you'd like there, as long as you need. Letting the eyes close. Feeling your breath in your body. A short practice, but a strong practice. So notice how much has changed since you first stepped onto the mat. And take as long as you need here. Before you leave, make sure you thank yourself for taking this time for you. I thank you so much for sharing your time and your practice with me. And I hope that we can move together again very soon. Namaste.